Hi, we're so glad you're here for another episode of Janine and Amy's Travel Experience Live. Tonight, we travel to the South Pacific with a visit to Tahiti and the Society Islands with Liz Coleman from Paul Gauguin Cruises. So if lush green landscapes, crystal blue, I can't even talk, crystal clear turquoise waters, endless sunshine, and warm, welcoming people is your kind of vacation, then stick around as we travel to the heart of French Polynesia. But before we go, I have to say hello to my co-host, Amy, as we toast the end of the week.
And here's for that. Another end of the week in 2020, and I'll take it. And cheers to Liz. Thank you so much for joining us, Liz. And of course, my beautiful co-host, Janine. And as you know, Janine, and I think Liz knows as well, the South Pacific, most importantly, the Society Islands, are so near and dear to my heart because that's where my husband asked me to marry him. Nice. And there's a big, huge, there were Polynesian dancers involved. There was a full moon. He didn't really plan that part, but it was there. And
he did. He checked the almanac. I know he did. He checked the almanac.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's pretty thorough. So anyway, it was absolutely beautiful. It involved candelabras and sparkling little hearts dangling in the sky, and it was just beautiful. So this is one of the places that's near and dear to my heart. So Liz, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful part of our world with us tonight. Here's to everybody. Another Friday.
Another Friday.
God bless us, one and all.
So I am super excited to talk to you about this because I have never been there. Mm-hmm. So this is a brand new location for me. But before we start, I want to ask you, Liz,
yes,
where will you go? Where's the first place you will go when we can travel again?
Oh my gosh, when we are outside of our houses and off the couch. Oh my gosh. Well, I have already snuck away to Vermont, but
I won't tell anybody.
What's that?
I won't tell anybody.
We did the quarantine thing. Actually, that's a work in progress because, in fact, you know, Amy, you were talking about your honeymoon. Or not your honeymoon, rather, where your proposal was. We're celebrating 25 years of wedded bliss, and it was canceled. So we're trying to redo that with lots of friends and family.
Congratulations!
That's
amazing.
Great. That is amazing. I'm 20 this year. I'm 20. My 20th anniversary. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. So hopefully we get to go somewhere too.
Did you get married when you were 5, Janine?
I know. I was a young bride. But on to serious topics of Tahiti. So I will say this: everyone in their minds that Tahiti, Bora Bora, I want to go, but do people really even know where it is?
Most people don't know where it is.
So I'm going to put a little map in the stream.
Yes.
Right. So how long will it take us to get from Massachusetts to Tahiti?
You know, this is where when I have a conversation with anyone about Tahiti, French Polynesia, I always have to start with the map just as you're doing today. Because, you know, when you talk about one of these iconic, these lush parts of the world, people dream about it, but they don't really know where it is. They don't know how to get there. So if we're in Massachusetts and we're traveling to LA, what is that, 6 hours? Once you get to LA into Tahiti is about 8 hours. So if any of your travelers, any of your clients have ever been to Hawaii, LA into Hawaii is about 6 hours. So we just say that it's a movie and a drink away.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have to stop. You don't have to actually stop in Hawaii to get there. Really, it is 8 hours from LA into Tahiti, nonstop.
Oh, that's not too bad. So that is not bad at all. I mean, I've been on longer flights. I'm sure you have as well.
You know, right? Indeed. To Europe, honestly, it's like going to parts of Europe. You know, from the coast once you get to LA.
So it's incredibly beautiful too.
Yeah.
And speaking of Hawaii, so I have been to Hawaii, and I know they're also have the Polynesian culture. Is it similar, or if someone's been to Hawaii, should they say to themselves, "I've seen it, done it," or no?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Actually, I love that question because there are a couple things that are different. It is a sister island, right? So our sister island to the north, we are equidistant south of the equator as Hawaii is north, just as a little fun fact. Some people say that French Polynesia is Hawaii like 100 years ago. So the difference between Hawaii and French Polynesia, a couple things, is that you still get these beautiful blue crystal waters that I think draw people to Hawaii. They're drawn to the landscape. They're drawn to, the volcanic mountains, non-erupting, by the way. So that's a plus. But, it's the authenticity and the natural beauty that attracts people. Here's a fun fact for you. We get as much tourism in 1 year as Hawaii gets in 7 days.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Right.
Oh, that's nice. So it's not super crowded. I
No,
mean, no,
no.
and it really, you can have a private experience and really,
And I would say that, the reason people dream about Hawaii is because it feels closer. It's part of the U.S. and they think about the water. They think about the Polynesians. They think about the landscape and all of those things. Because whenever we travel, we think about all of those things, right? We think about culture. We think about beauty. We think about engagement, immersion, if you want all of those things, right? But with Tahiti, that's another level, right? People dream about that too, but it goes back to, the map. Ooh, it feels like I can't really get there from here, but in fact, it is so very attainable.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to show this picture because it is so beautiful. And I just feel like, look at that. Look at that. I mean, that exactly is unbelievable. And really just crystal clear and looks so clean and beautiful. And just
It is. It is absolutely pristine and almost untouched. It's almost like that's the way the world is meant to be.
It's one of the most natural parts of the world. It's protected. And as a matter of fact, in the Tuamotus, which is one of the archipelagos, there's it's a protected area. So, for divers, snorkelers, swimmers, that people really love marine life, this is like your Mecca.
Oh, wow.
It's teeming. Absolutely.
Really. So, and I want to say too, if anyone has any questions for Liz, just throw them in the post it and we can answer them live right here, right now. So the culture is obviously a really important part. And this is a beautiful picture that you gave us. And I know it must be part of what Paul Gauguin is about, incorporating the culture with the cruises. So tell me a little bit about this picture.
Yes. So we actually, because you just said it, traveling, we want to learn about people that are different than ourselves. That's why we get out of our neighborhoods. We venture wherever it's somewhere domestically or across the pond somewhere. But we have 7 Polynesian hosts who travel with us, who live with us on board every single sailing. They are born and raised in the French Polynesian islands. And by day, they're running different activities on the ship. They're running cultural things so that you can learn a little bit more about who they are, their people, where they came from. Music and dance is so very much a part of their spirit and who they are. So by day, we're doing Tahitian dance lessons, which I've done a number of times. Ukulele lessons, and then by the evening, the entertainment is kind of local. We bring on different singing and dance troupes where we can, and other entertainment as well, guest hosts and the like. But the fact is that they're all, if you're on shore, certainly you'll see the French Polynesians, but we bring them on and incorporate them into the programming so that you have a better understanding about this group of warm, friendly, hospitable people.
Right. And here's another picture that all the pictures you sent to us too really stood out to me. Just how gorgeous is that? Oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful. And look at those pearls.
Yeah. Well, so there are 2 things I would say about this. First, the children. We actually bring on the children from Huahine. And it's fun to pronounce all these different names of the French Polynesian islands. They're born to dance and sing, so it's a part of their culture. And then the other picture on the right is, many people don't know this, but Tahitian pearls Okay, this probably sounds silly, but the only place you can get Tahitian pearls is French Polynesia.
That's true. Yep.
And, we think about them as black pearls, but because of the luminescence and sort of the way in which now they're farmed or cultured, they take on some different colors. And let me tell you, they are absolutely exquisite. Learning about how they are farmed in this part of the world is really unique. And that is one of the things that most people actually bring back with them is a French Polynesian pearl.
Wow, that is.
I am so
beautiful.
sad. I am so sad. I should have thought to wear my earrings and I didn't. And I have to tell you, I'm so sad. I didn't think about it. I have them in all protected. But anyway, we got each of our daughters. So between Tim and I, we have 3 daughters and a son. Yeah. We got each of our daughters a pearl pendant from Tahiti, and they all wore them because they were all my maids of honor when we got married, and I wore my earrings. So, because that's where we got married, or so it was, So now I'm bumming. I'm like, why didn't I put them on?
Hey, Liz, we do have a question. So Robbie is asking, how is the sports fishing there? Hey, Robbie, too. Thanks for
coming.
Robbie. Well,
thanks for coming.
So my husband is an avid fisherman, although not sea so much, but that is something that he talks about in terms of there are excursions, not necessarily through the ship because it's really not as popular, if you will, but there is an opportunity to do that. We actually find fish to serve actually on board as often as we can. And if you do catch something, they're willing to prepare it for you.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But that would be sort of a private excursion that you'd have to sign up for, like for an outside.
Right. Well, so then it's a good time to start talking about the cruise, about the Paul Gauguin Cruises, because so I'm just going to show the ship. I would like to know sort of how it works. Like, I know it's super unique and special, but how do you plan the excursions and what do people have to choose from? So here's a picture of the ship. And look how beautiful. I mean, look at that. The blue,
amazing.
It's unbelievable.
You have no idea how beautiful.
It is. And you know what? Sometimes people think, that must be airbrushed, the colors that you see, and they're not. It's like amazing. It's just that blue and the different kind of hues, and it's just amazing. But where I will start, let me back up for a moment because I will talk about the shore excursions. But, the thing about the ship is that what makes it so unique is that, first of all, it's all inclusive. I don't know if your listeners know that. And we start with round trip economy airfare out of Los Angeles. And then we provide all of your meals. There are 3 different dining venues, all of your drinks, which include wines and spirits. So picture yourself coming back from a day on Bora Bora, maybe at the beach, and the drink of the day is waiting for you at the pool bar, right? The water sports marina, I don't know if you have one of those as well, Janine, but everything is included: food, drinks, liquor, and gratuities. Gratuities is a big thing as well. If you want to say, oh my God.
I just saw that. I'm like, look how fun that is.
It is so wildly fun. So that is our we have a number of private excursions, and that is off the island of Taha on our Motumahana. It's a beach barbecue day, and they literally serve you drinks in the water. And I've seen people just wade there. I mean, just sit there all day long while the floating bar goes by. But we do bring the water toys there. In fact, kayaking, paddleboarding also included. So, but the shore excursions are additional because they're optional. So, if you're someone that says, paddleboarding, isn't that so great? Just remember to come back. But I think, what's so great about this is it's a fully customizable experience where you can kick back, relax, watch the world go by, or you can engage, whether it's some of the water toys that you saw just a moment ago. You can take advantage of the beach days that we offer, and you pick and choose. We offer a number of shore excursions, whether it's, water-based, snorkeling, diving, 4x4s. So it's all about immersion on your terms, right?
Oh, nice. Right. So you could do that or do nothing, right? So you could go have a jam-packed day or go to the beach and relax, right?
Yeah. And
what do you want to do?
people like the ship. You know, sometimes we ask, you know, oh, I've always thought about that overwater bungalow, right? You know, the iconic. That's where you stayed initially, right, Amy?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's beautiful, and
It is.
what I would say is this is your floating over water bungalow. It just takes you from place to place so that you can explore. But if you're someone that says, you know what, I'd like the best of both worlds, you can actually do that on the front end, the back end, or potentially during the cruise as well.
Right.
So
how long are you in each place? So I know you have different length cruises, but generally, how long do you spend in each location?
well, just enough time that you feel like you've gotten to know each place. So the itineraries are designed so that you can take 1 or 2 shore excursions, get the lay of the land, and then come back on the ship. There are 2 islands in particular that are quite popular, being Bora Bora, right, and Moorea. And those 2 in particular, where we spend 2 days, so 1 night, 1 overnight, 2 full days there. So you have ample time for exploration.
All right. Oh, that's nice, because it is hard. I have not been on a lot of cruises, I'll be honest with you, but I did feel that we were moving fast, that you'd go into a port and then whoosh, that was it, right? It was like honestly, get off and then jump right back on.
Right. Yeah. And some of your listeners here may say exactly what either I've never cruised before, or I love cruising. If you bought into cruising, then you understand the value of cruising. But I think this is one part of the world where it makes sense. If you want to go from place to place in a very effortless way without having to pack and unpack and figure out the transfers from one island, because honestly, when they say you can't get there from here, sometimes you can't. That means going back to the main island and then transferring or taking a little puddle jumper where you're going to have to wait hours. And then if you've overpacked, then you can't get your suitcase on. And so that's why the cruise makes so much sense. And because of the size and the intimacy of the ship makes it even that much better for people.
Liz, talk about that for a little bit, because that's important. Because if we have any cruisers watching, they're thinking big Royal Caribbean monster ships, right? And that's not at all Paul Gauguin. So will you please explain what that's like in the ratio as well, please?
Absolutely. So our ship just sleeps over 300 guests, about 330 guests.
Wow.
166. Yeah.
I think there are like 3,000.
Yeah, right. Flop off the 0, right? 300. Just over 300.
That's it.
So, and our staff to guest ratio is 1 to 1.5. So for every crew member, there are 1.5 guests. So that means they know the fact that you like your wine spritzer or whatever you're having over there, or a seltzer.
That's what I'm having.
So they know a little bit about you. They know if you went off on a shore excursion and which one, because maybe you had a conversation. Here's what how I would describe it, is that when you think about your favorite place, wherever that is, maybe it's in domestic, it's international, it's an experience. And this is what your face might look like. Okay, can you feel that? Right?
Yeah.
That's what this brings. And the reason it brings it to why people feel this way is because when you overlay the natural beauty, the opportunity to do and see things that most people dream of doing but never do, and then you overlay it with the service levels, the intimacy of the crew, the personality of the crew, and really making connections, you feel like you've left another home.
Right.
And that's why people are enthralled with this, because it's connections or reconnecting.
Right. Yeah, and you really feel like you've experienced the location and not just moving fast and barely able to see anything. And I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about the ship itself. So I have a couple pictures from inside.
Yes.
And look at that.
I know. Can you see yourself there?
Yes. I can see myself there. So that's one of the cabins, clearly. Yeah. And everyone has a deck there, balcony.
A veranda.
That's the word I'm looking for.
A veranda.
So I love that. And then I have this one too. So,
Oh, yeah.
and this is really like small. And again, so just going back to the cruise that I went on, there must have been 1,000 chairs, really, and just jam-packed with people. And so it's not that at all.
Right. So I would say a couple things. First of all, you never have to fight for a chaise lounge, and there's no one there. But seriously, you don't have to lay your towel down at 7 o'clock in the morning and worry that you're not going to get a seat. The truth is, we can sail at capacity, and you never feel like there are too many people on the ship, right?
Right.
So it really it's intimate, but lots of open spaces. So if you're someone that says, you know what, I love the attributes of a ship, I want to just kind of find a little shade, a piece of, and read my book, and you can do that without a problem.
Right. So I do need to address the elephant in the room because the cruise industry has not got a lot of great press. So why don't you tell us what Paul Gauguin is doing in terms of making sure that, the people who are traveling are safe, and what you're doing for, safety protocols and cleanliness protocols and that type of thing.
Right. Good question. Well, let's start just with getting there. Air Tahiti Nui, which is the flagship carrier that goes in, has its own protocols in terms of making sure that they are doing the testing and the like. And then once you get to the ship, we too have our own protocol. I will tell you from the outset, even before any of this broke, they have an infectious disease doctor that was already involved in making sure that all of the ships, Paul Gauguin Cruise, Paul Gauguin being one of them, but the entire Ponant fleet was at the highest standard for cleanliness. So if anyone wants to see all of the ins and outs of the protocol, we've outlined them on our website, where I can send them to both you, and then you can post it if you will. But I can assure you that we're doing a lot. As a matter of fact, I will tell you, Tahiti has, I think, had 35 cases of COVID. And better yet, our staff and our guests never had one case of COVID while we were sailing.
Wow.
Not one.
That's great. That is great.
So safety, cleanliness, it's paramount. Honestly, I think and I'm not just saying this, I think we're setting the standard. It's a pretty high bar.
Absolutely. And it also speaks, Liz, to the intimacy of the ship. And I don't mean that in a small sense. I mean that in the sense that you don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of people running around. You have 300.
Right. Yes.
That makes a huge difference.
And if I may just say something about the cruise business, because I think, Janine, you said it about, cruising, I think it's all over the press in terms of the cleanliness. We are the only business, the only industry in the market that is required by law to report illnesses as you see them on TV. No other airline, no hotel, nobody does. And so I think it's been the cruise industry for a very long time that has actually done a lot to improve the hygiene of the area. And I think other places are starting to understand that. It's just that it's reported in not always such a positive light.
Right.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I bet. That is tough. So on a happier topic, we have an exciting announcement, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-host, Amy, to talk about something exciting that Janine and Amy's travel experiences will be doing. All right,
bring it on up for me. Up for me, Janine. So I can't even tell you, I have goosebumps right now, and this is the truth. I have goosebumps. I have tears in my eyes. I am so excited to announce this. Liz is probably one of the best suppliers I have ever worked with in my life. I consider her a good friend. And Janine and Amy are now announcing, as of today, our very, very, very first opportunity to tour with one of our suppliers at an exclusive offer because of our relationship with Liz and our relationship with Paul Gauguin Cruises. So here is the deal. So first of all, this is for members only of Janine and Amy's Travel Experiences. So you can join by simply going to our website, which is janineandamy.com. Up in the top right-hand corner, it says members only private tours. And you can click on that. It's absolutely free. As a grand opening of Janine and Amy's Travel Experiences, we're offering free membership for the first year. And as all of you know who have been following us, that we're going to be offering 3 to 4 tours per year to very exotic, beautiful, magnificent destinations that you know you want to go to. It's on your bucket list. Everybody wants to go to Bora Bora. Everybody wants to go to Tahiti. Everybody wants to go to Moorea. Now's your opportunity to do that. Because of our relationship with Paul Gauguin and my dear friend Liz, we were able to offer you, pull that back up for me if you would, Janine. I'm sorry, sweetie.
That's okay.
Pull that back up so I make sure I don't miss anything. So here is the offer, an exclusive offer that we have.
Wait, the pressure's on.
Our members only. So join today, head right over to our website. So first thing I want to say, though, there is very, very, very super uber limited availability for this cruise. I'm not going to tell you how many staterooms we have reserved for you. I'm just going to tell you, just know it's very limited. So here are the dates. The dates are August 14th, 2021 through August 21st, 2021. It is for 8 days, 7 nights, all-inclusive cruise on board Paul Gauguin. What are our exclusive offerings for Janine and Amy? If you're ready for this, your head is going to explode. You will get a total onboard credit per couple of $600. You will also get an exclusive virtuoso cocktail party on board the ship. You will have a private virtuoso excursion. The promotional exclusive pricing just for our members through August 7th. So we have to book by August 7th. What's included with your Paul Gauguin Cruise? Round trip airfare from Los Angeles to Tahiti and Papeete, accommodations for 7 nights on board the 5-star MS Paul Gauguin, all onboard meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, complimentary 24-hour room service. You will also get onboard gratuities are also included, complimentary non-alcoholic beverage and select wine, beer, and spirits. You will also get onboard entertainment and state-of-the-art retractable water sports arena, which is really, really, really cool. And then you get there's stops. There's a stop every single day. You're never a day at sea. You have 2 nights in Bora Bora on this particular itinerary. So if you head over, the itinerary is listed and the highlights on there as well. You have until August 7th. When you go to our website and you become a member only, there it is right there. Right? Yeah, of course, that's perfect. That's awesome. So you start in Papeete, which is in Tahiti, and then it shows you the stop that you're going around. So it's perfect. 8 days, 7 nights. It's wicked easy to get there. It is not as complicated as everybody thinks it is. From Boston, JFK, anywhere on the Eastern Seaboard, it's 2 flights. You just go to LA to Papeete, and before you know it, you're sitting in your beach chair and you have a margarita or have a beautiful island drink in your hand, and you are enjoying that beautiful scenery in the beautiful, beautiful turquoise water and the beautiful people and the magnificent Paul Gauguin Cruise Line. So we are super, super excited to be offering this to you guys today. So you can join us on board again. So just kind of hit this off a little bit. Round trip airfare from Los Angeles is included. Onboard meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, complimentary 24-hour rooms for gratuities, complimentary non-alcoholic beverages, and select wine, beer, and spirits, onboard entertainment, and the water sports arena as well. And then in conjunction to that, you also get, for our members only, you get the very, very exclusive offer of $600 onboard credit, but this is limited time only, so we have to have reservations and deposits made by August 7th. in order to take advantage of that after August 7th goes away. So you get $600 onboard credit to spend in any way you want. Is that right, Liz? They can even use it for excursions. So anything like that, right?
Right. Excursions or the spa.
Or
because there's a spa board.
There's a spa. Because that's where I would be.
Yeah.
As well as obviously the virtuoso amenities, as well as a cocktail party, which is elegant and beautiful. You also get the included excursion with virtuoso, and that wraps up. Super duper excited, but there are only a handful, and I mean small staterooms that are reserved for our members. And so we're hoping we can entice you guys to come. And what a great way. Think about it. We're all trapped. We can't go anywhere. I had 8 trips on the books this year. All of them had canceled, and I can't go anywhere until next year. So why not make that your first adventure out once we're beyond COVID, we're beyond the crisis?
You know what, Amy?
Yeah.
We need to reward ourselves for being cooped up so long.
Yes, we do. I agree with you. We have earned this. We have earned it.
We have earned it. So anyone, if you're watching and you want more information and you want to see more of the itinerary and everything, just type Tahiti in the comments and we will send it right away to you so you can see what it's all about, see all these beautiful pictures that Liz shared with us, and find out more about Paul Gauguin Cruises and where it's at. You see a map. If you don't know where it is, it will tell you.
You two can take us there. So that's
right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the only way to take care of this offer is to book it through Janine and I. That's the only way to do it. So
that is the only way. That is the only way.
Absolutely.
I can assure you.
Super happy. I bet. You really went overboard for us.
Pun intended, right?
It is intended. Yeah.
So this is super fun to talk to you, Liz. Thank you so much. I learned a lot about
Liz.
Tahiti, and I cannot wait to go. Maybe that would be my 20th anniversary gift.
Yay. There you go.
To go, something like that.
Make that happen.
We do appreciate getting on the show. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If you want to get reminders about the show, just type "remind me" below. And we will remind you every week. We'll be coming on talking about different destinations with different suppliers and telling you all about travel and getting you excited for when the world reopens. So thanks, Amy. Good to see you. Thanks, Liz. Cheers to you all.
Thank you.
Next week,
happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Next week, we'll be talking to Club Med. So we'll see you then. So have a great weekend and keep dreaming about travel, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.